Phil, and we're just 3 days away from the divisional round of the NFL. We start with the double Bs, Bills and Broncos. They get the slate started Saturday afternoon. The last time these two teams faced off was in last year's wildcard round when the Bills cruised to a 31-7 win at home, ending Denver's season. Then how about NFC West foes facing off for the third time this year? Seahawks host the 49ers. These teams split two regular season meetings, with the road team winning both of them, including a 13-3 dub by Seattle in Week 18 to clinch the 1 seed. Then Sunday at 3 Eastern on ESPN and ABC, the Texans visit the Patriots in a matchup of teams coming off dominant defensive performances. First playoff game between teams that allowed 6 or fewer points in their last game since 2002. And in the nightcap, the Rams visit the Bears in a game that could see single-digit temperatures. The Rams haven't won in Chicago since 2003, when Sean McVay was still a senior in high school.
It's time now for a postseason edition of Saturday's Sneak Peek. Let's say hello to the man whose backside Peyton Manning knows like the back of his own hand, our NFL analyst and box office hitmaker Jeff Saturday. Jeff, what are the must-see movies on the marquee this weekend?
What an introduction. Let's get this thing started out at Mile High, baby. We're going out for Buffalo and Denver. Talk about the walking wounded. I know we talk about San Francisco being injured. How about Buffalo, man? Losing Shavers to an ACL this past week. Buffalo's offense against this Denver defense is going to be the story of the game. How well can Josh Allen and James Cook and this offensive line impress their will upon this Denver Broncos defense? We know we're going to have to take the air out of the ball if you're Buffalo, and you're going to want to try to make Bo Nix beat you on the other side. This is going to be a massive game. Excited about it. Man, Sean McDermott, credit to him to have his team where it is, big time. Run for the money. Third time is a charm, baby. Seattle and San Fran. My man Trent Williams back in action. But how about Charbonnet and Walker and what they did the last time they played? They averaged about 7 yards a clip just running the rock right through San Francisco. How is their defense going to respond to this? If they can take the running game away from Seattle, they want to try to make Sam Darnold beat them, put the pressure on him in this playoff matchup. I think this is a great matchup for the Seahawks and what they want to do, especially as good as their defense is, against Brock Purdy and that San Francisco offense. Going to be a ton of fun third time. And in May Day in Patriot land, you got Mike Vrabel's first year in Patriots taking Drake May, who in my opinion was the MVP, against the number out, protect the ball. He did not do a good job against Pittsburgh. They couldn't take advantage. Stroud's going to have to play on his P's and Q's and make sure he's on top of this thing. And then finally, the Stafford and Caleb Williams. Hard pass, baby. Let's go. And can Stafford and this Rams team go into Chicago, cold game, cold weather, and finish the game? You think about Chicago and all the comebacks they've had. They've been down. It's a never-say-die team. You're going to have to put a pin in this team and force them to quit. I want to see how the Rams address this. The Rams' defense has not been nearly as good as they were earlier in the season. They allowed the Panthers to almost take a victory from them. I know Stafford had a great drive at the end of the game, but the Panthers' defense played way back. I'm excited to see this matchup with the Bears and the opportunistic side of their defense against this Rams offense. Heck of a weekend, fellas. Heck of a weekend for some ball.
Let's go.
Yeah, maybe because I'm a company man, we could have also gone with Frozen for that last game, Rams-Bears. Kickoff temps feels like -7 Sunday at Soldier Field.
Brutal.
Ooh.
But we're going to see how brutal our box office hit critic is, because Dominique Foxworth is here to be that critic. So, Dominique, with Neek's critiques, are you giving 2 thumbs up or 2 thumbs down to this Texans-Patriots matchup?
First of all, y'all both look quite fly today, so my critique is nice suit action.
Appreciate it,
Y'all
brother.
killing them. I got to get my game up. But I think the May Day is the game that I want to focus on, because I am in love with that Texans defense, and I want to see if Drake May is going to be able to create big play passes. Like, his deep ball accuracy was exceptional this season, and as Jeff pointed out, you're not going to be able to dink and dunk your way down the field against that Texans defense with that pass rush and the way those corners play. So is Drake May going to be able to make big plays? Because otherwise, they may not score. You saw what they did to the Steelers, and obviously Drake May and the Pats are better, but this defense is incredible. If they were like, if they weren't in Houston, they were in like the Cowboys defense, we'd be talking about them like all-time great. They are that damn good.
For sure. Agreed.
We don't really,
Unbelievable.
We don't really talk about certain cities that much.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate your insight. Make sure you catch Jeff and Dominique on Get Up at the top of the hour. Appreciate you, fellas.
Next Sports Center, though, comes your way at 2 p.m. Eastern with Christine Williamson. Reports from the NFL playoffs live in Chicago and L.A., plus much more about what's up. One more for everything, and it's 5 days away. The 2026 CFP National Championship game, Indiana, Miami, Monday night from Hard Rock Stadium. And we welcome in college football analyst Jordan Rogers to the show. Jordan, Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza in the playoffs. 8 touchdown passes, 5 incomplete passes.
What?
You played this position. How does Miami disrupt that rhythm?
Well, it's really hard to do routes on air in practice, let alone in a college football playoff. Here's what Miami needs to not do. Don't do what Alabama and Oregon did, which was blitz Mendoza a ton. Alabama blitzed him 60% of the dropbacks, and Oregon 40%. And he was 14 of 15 for 199 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, don't do that. Miami's got to find a way to get pressure with Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain without blitzing. So simulated pressures where maybe a linebacker will come and one of those guys will drop back. So you still only rush 4, but you have 7 guys in coverage. You can't give him man-to-man matchups downfield. He will make you pay. Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesidor got to find a way to get to the quarterback without that pressure, win their one-on-ones, and try to affect Fernando Mendoza. It's going to be a tough task, though.
On the other side of the ball, it's Carson Beck, the transfer from Georgia. Beck came up clutch for Miami in the semifinals. So what were you most impressed about his performance against Ole Miss?
Yeah, I think it was his poise, right? He came into the game, 41 starts under his belt, and he looked like it. That last drive, 15 plays for 75 yards and a touchdown, the patience. But really, it was the downfield passing. That had been kind of absent in the first 2 games for Miami. They didn't really need to because they were able to run the football so effectively with Mark Fletcher. He got going again versus Ole Miss, but it was the downfield shots from Carson Beck, the opportunistic play on second reaction there. You see the touchdown run later in the game as well. So he's got to continue to be poised in the pocket, make the right decisions, and push the ball downfield. They're not going to beat this Indiana team playing small ball, and he looked the part last week. I think he can do it again.
All you need to know about the demand for this national championship game, get-in price $2,973.
Oh, man.
Before fees.
Potentially be more. Adam Schefter, ESPN Senior NFL Insider, joined us yesterday after 8 a.m. Eastern. Go back in the podcast and listen to the interview. It was phenomenal. And this is before the Tomlin exit. Here's what Schefter had to say about the coaching carousel.
My guess is no, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like it doesn't feel like the market is completely set to me. There's just a lot of talk out there about a lot of things. And so I don't know how many, if any, will actually happen, but there's too many unsettled things. Pittsburgh, Green Bay, others. There's too many unsettled things out there to think that there will be no more openings.
Smallsy, do you remember the question specifically I asked when he responded that way yesterday? Because there's a reason for that I'm asking this. No.
It was something like, do you think that more openings will happen?
No.
Oh, no. You said...
You brought this up. I want to make sure that I highlight this.
It was... You basically were implying, is it a job where the team is already out of the postseason?
There's that part of it.
Okay, go ahead.
But also, because I thought this was the thing that you were fascinated by, I set that up by saying, let's leave Pittsburgh and Green Bay to the side because we know that there could be stuff that happens there. Could there be anything else? And he reiterated Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and I'm sorry, what was that? Others? And that's when we had the discussion, is others because Tomlin would be available and a team would fire their coach, or a team in the playoff or playing out the results. So Tomlin's not going to coach next year, it doesn't seem like. Others? Can we discuss that for a second?
Is he talking about Buffalo?
That's where my mind went.
That's the only other in my mind that makes any sense of the teams that are still playing, of the 8. You're not firing Ben Johnson. Like, let's go to the NFC. You're not firing Ben Johnson. You're not firing Kyle Shanahan. You're not firing Mike McDonald. You're not firing, who am I forgetting here?
Wait,
Sean
but
McVay.
Court, hold on
Sean
a second.
McVay.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Adam never said anyone was getting fired.
So
Mike Tomlin did not get fired yesterday.
So you think somebody would step away?
I'm saying when Adam is suggesting others and then bringing that up that way, I'm saying to you that maybe we are too narrow-minded in our focus of if Sean McDermott gets blown out at Denver, he could get fired. How do we know it's not someone saying, my time is up here, the way Tomlin said, my time is up in Pittsburgh. I can't do any more here. I don't know who that is. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't see it that way. Mike Tomlin is a case of its own because he was there for 19 seasons. Sean McDermott, of any of the 8 coaches remaining, is the only one that I think you could put into that category of maybe they move on. Maybe there is a new head coach in Buffalo. But he hasn't been there nearly the time that Tomlin was. He'd made a lot out of a defense that was super injured this year. They won their first road playoff game in forever. I think he's safe. I think everything from here on out, and knowing that this is your easiest path. There's no Patrick Mahomes to go through. There's no Lamar Jackson to go through. For Josh Allen, for Sean McDermott, for the partnership, go win it right now. That's the only one I could see, but I still think that since they crossed that hurdle in Jacksonville last week and they're going to Denver to face the 1 seed, that he's already locked up his future, that he'd be safe.
Yeah, that was the one that popped into my mind too. But I'm with you, Courtney. I don't think that they're going to fire him now that he won the first round playoff game.
I think that was all it would take for him.
But small as his wheels are spinning. Where are you going here?
The way you outline this, it presented a thought here. So the way you phrased it, you said put Pittsburgh and Green Bay to the side, and he reiterated Pittsburgh and Green Bay.
Oh.
Mike Tomlin walks away yesterday. Should we focus on the other team that he reiterated in Green Bay?